Hi, and welcome back to our very last episode of Uniting Our Community, brought to you by the United Way of Gloucester County. I'm sitting here for the last time with Mike, who is the Executive Director for the United Way. And yeah, Mike, I've learned so much. It's kind of sad that this is the last one.
Well, I'm glad it's been such a positive experience for you, and you've gotten to meet so many different members of our community.
Absolutely. And, I've met board members, I've met volunteers, I've met directors. I don't even know all the titles of the people that I've met, and it's crazy to see how the United Way touches more lives than what I thought. Everybody's so interconnected, and it's such a tight-knit community, and it's amazing to see everybody working together to make it a better community to be a part of.
Yeah, and that was really the point of this podcast series. We really wanted you to kind of go out and see that the United Way is something different to everybody. So depending on how you interact with our organization, your relationship to the United Way could be very different than somebody else's. So by engaging with an agency, you see how the United Way partners with them and funds programs and services. By working with a board member, you see how they govern, and we work with our transparency and our accountability. It's just being able to engage with many different parts of our community really is how we unite the community together to make a lasting impact.
The variety of it also sort of helps me to see how I can be a part of it, because there's so many different ways that I can be a part of it and grow. So one of the meetings that I did have is with Zykia, for instance. She has been a part of the United Way for so long, and she's just grown, and she's become the jack of all trades, and there's not a single thing that woman hasn't done. And it gives me hope and inspiration to be able to grow in this as well.
And that's what it's really all about. We really want to make sure that people understand there's not just one way to interact with our organization. You can volunteer, whether it's directly with us or through one of our partner agencies. You can actually be a donor. You can support us financially. Or you could advocate on certain issues or key causes. There's so many different ways to kind of come together and be part of this organization and engage in the community. And it's great to hear that you've identified some of those different things that could really become a passion to you. As you go through your career, those passions and those abilities to do certain things may change. Mm-hmm. And I know at the beginning you were concerned about being able to donate and being new into your professional career and not having the resources. But what you've hopefully found is that there's a lot of different ways that you can get involved beyond just the donation. Mackenzie, you came into this program really wanting to know what the United Way does in our community. Was there anything that really surprised you or stood out to you during this?
Honestly, it's the fact that the United Way isn't just donating money to a cause. It goes farther, like the wide range of the scope of services that we offer. It's about supporting parents, helping people to get work, or even connecting businesses like Lindsay through the LEAD program that I learned about.
And you're spot on with that. The United Way is a lot more than just Band-Aids and solutions that are short-term fixes. While those are critical to the success of our community, you have to meet people where they are. But once you put those solutions on and those Band-Aids onto problems by feeding people, providing utility assistance, or getting them sheltered, they need to take that next step to progress to be a thriving member of our community. And to do that, we need to, at the United Way, have programs such as our Leadership Gloucester County program, which you referenced that Lindsay joined us from the Chamber. And she was able to take the next step in her professional career by learning skills, learning about our community, and being involved and engaged. We also do programs such as our Pureland East-West Shuttle, which is a transportation program to get these individuals, once they're stabilized, to work so that they can develop and grow professionally. So these are all just wonderful things that are able to be done because of the support of generous donors and supporters of our community. You've spoken with a lot of individuals, from board members to volunteer to nonprofit partners. Is there anything that stood out or anything that you've heard multiple times through these conversations?
Absolutely. Honestly, Mike, a big part of it is that these stories share the same message. There's these busy people who are executives and don't have a lot of time on their hands, and they're still willing to donate their time and their talents And one person that I actually talked to that sticks out to me is Karen Green. She's a campaign chair, and she just gives so much of her time, her talent, her energy, just to make sure this community is taken care of, and that just wows me.
Yes, we've learned so much of our leadership. I mean, these individuals are taking time off of work, they're engaged in our community, and they're doing it just for the betterment of our society. One of the podcast episodes that I really am thinking about was you were talking with one of our board members, Jim Kelleher, and he also runs the Toys for Tots program. He is also on one of our allocation panels, and he talked a lot about how we fund organizations and programs.
Yes, Mike. In fact, I learned a lot from Jim, and actually from every message in this whole series, that the funds going to the United Way are being used locally, they're transparent, and they're being held accountable, so that even though I don't have a lot to donate in my career at this point, that every dollar that I'm putting into this program counts.
And that's important because the United Way is the steward of our donors' funds. We need to make sure that we can be held accountable and to show the impact that those donations are making here in Gloucester County. During these conversations, you've met a wide range of people and the impacts that they've had. Can you tell me a little bit about what you've kind of learned from that?
Absolutely. So, because of the wide variety of people that I met, I've learned that it doesn't matter who you are, what you have to give, every donation counts. And a donation doesn't have to be money. A donation could be your time, your talent, your smile, even just by doing these videos, educating yourself. Like the people watching these videos, they are donating their time and they're gaining knowledge so that they can figure out how to help this community.
We always are on the lookout for talented individuals, whether it's maybe a CPA that wants to help and serve as a board treasurer or review financial statements as part of our allocation process. Maybe it's someone that works in marketing and communication that wants to help our fundraising and our campaign messaging. We're also looking for those donors to support our programs and our work and give of their financial treasures as well. But regardless of who you are, where you are in your life, and what you're able to do, there's a place for you at the United Way of Gloucester County. And by bringing everyone together, that's how we can magnify that impact. So Mackenzie, as we come to the end of this podcast series, I want to really say thank you so much for being involved and engaged in this, and being so open to learn about the United Way of Gloucester County and to have these conversations with our key stakeholders, board, volunteers. So it's been truly a pleasure to have you as part of this series.
Well, Mike, thank you for giving me the knowledge that I have now. If there's anything that I could tell anyone who's looking at potentially donating or giving their talent or time to a nonprofit, is to reach out. Just ask the questions. It's okay to be hesitant. It's okay to be unsure. That's what I was at the very start of this, and I feel like I've learned so much. And I look forward to be part of such a connected community. Like, I'm not just helping that community, I'm a part of it. And it's so connected, and it feels kind of safe in a way, knowing that if I were to ever fall, then I'd have a community that is connected to pick me back up again.
Well, that's wonderful to hear. I'm so glad it was a meaningful experience to you. And thank you for being part of the United Way of Gloucester County family. And thank you so much for being part of this series.
Thank you. And thank you to our viewers. I hope you learned as much as I did about uniting our community.